Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of One on One with the Ginger One. And this week we have Matt Viviani. So pumped for this. I mean, I met you a bunch of times at IWS shows, but now we get to chat one on one and kind of expand a little bit. We won't stick to wrestling. I'm going to throw some random questions at you just about life and other things, and we'll see how it goes. All right, let's do it. Let's kick it off. So we're a part of the Pantheon network of podcasts. The coach is on there and stuff like that. So some big podcasts. We're obviously not a big podcast, but we're on there with some big ones. And we did an episode with this dude who does my weekly mixtape. So you remember back in the day when we were growing up, mixtapes were still a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was around WrestleMania time. So he was asking, what is your favorite theme of all time? So entrance theme. So I'm going to put that one out to you. Might as well start off with that one. What's your favorite entrance theme of all time?
I'm going to go with Edge, man. Metalingus by Alter Bridge. Can't beat that. Come on.
It's so
on
fucking
this
good.
day.
It's a good workout song too, right?
Still in my playlist, in my workout, in my freaking daily drive playlist. That song, I still hear it like 5-6 times a week easily.
Damn. Do you have like a favorite Edge match or like a time when that song comes to mind? Is there a match in particular, or is it just all of it?
Favorite Edge match of all time. There's definitely a few, like there's this random, this is like really obscure, but he had a cage match with Jericho on SmackDown in like 2002. And like,
It's a deep cut.
yeah, man, when I was a kid, like I loved that match. Like it was freaking awesome. Like on free TV, I was like, oh shit. Yeah, that match really, it like always sticks out to me. A lot of his matches with Cena.
Hell yeah.
Man, like the good old like days in like 2008 when Edge was world champion on SmackDown, like just all kinds of bangers. His WrestleMania match with Undertaker, that's definitely an all-timer.
Yeah, yeah. You're bringing up the
His Hell in a
knowledge
Cell
already.
Taker.
The what?
His Hell in a Cell versus Taker, which I believe he lost. He had a great Hell in a Cell with Undertaker, and it was probably the best Hell in a Cell I'd seen up until that point since like Lesnar Taker in like 03.
And the cage, it was the Hell in the Cell was still kind of fresh back then, right? It wasn't made to be like, you know, it needs to be safer and have like the area for spots, but it still felt like then like it wasn't meant to be for that, so it kind of like added some extra to it. I don't know.
Yeah, and like I thought, like when they made the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, it kind of killed the whole match because it like I hated that. Like how are you supposed to know that at this year, at this time, there's going to be a feud that needs to be in a Hell in a Cell? Which is why there's been so many lackluster Hell in a Cell since, because it's just like you look at some names that have been in Hell in a Cell and you're like, fuck, really? Like when? Like I look sometimes like when did this happen and why? Oh, because there's a pay-per-view and it had to happen. Like it's not the same.
You could have added so much story. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be the end of the feud or something. It needs to be a big moment, like a blood feud. No, like that's the whole point.
Yeah, like an announcement on Raw. You and me, Hell in a Cell. Oh fuck. Yeah, here we go. You know.
And one person's like, "Oh, I don't know if I actually want to do this." Like, you know, there's so much you could do with that. I don't know.
And then it became like a thing now, where like you just check your calendar. Oh, Hell in a Cell's coming. Oh, we're gonna see freaking Funaki versus you know, like it's whoever's there.
Them in there, like. We'll do a couple questions that are like non-wrestling related just to get to know you a little bit better. And obviously you've had the Prime Minister gimmick, and this is something that I've asked on our podcast before. I just started off with like a quick question to the boys before we jump into like the news and everything else. And since you were the Prime Minister, it's a pretty apropos one, if I'll say that. Who or what is your favorite thing to come out of Canada? Besides yourself. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I could just keep going on and on. Canada's the best. Like it's the best, and I was glad to be able to be at the helm for as long as I was. El Capitan.
What about cereal? Are you a cereal guy? Do you still eat cereal? Did you eat it more when you were a kid? And if so, like,
someone made a post recently that killed me. It's like cereal is good every like 200 and something weeks or something like that. Like cereal hits different every 200 weeks. I feel like that's about like how often I have it now.
Yeah.
And like, you ever have this cereal called Crave?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that thing was amazing. I had to like
so good.
Get cereal out of my house because like I was gonna like develop diabetes or something.
Exactly. That's the danger. Like I didn't know as a kid how many like calories, how much sugar is in it. We had no idea.
Yeah,
when you're young, you're eating whatever you wanted, right? So crush a whole box of honeycombs or whatever.
Easily. Then I listen to all these wrestling podcasts. They're advertising Magic Spoon. Oh. You hear about that?
Oh yeah,
you must have for sure, right? And then I go look up the prices. It's like $1 million a box. I'm like, yeah, you could stick that Magic Spoon up your ass, you know?
What about like chocolate bar? Do you have a favorite chocolate bar or go to, or did you? Because again, nowadays rushing
I'm a
away to whatever
Reese's Cups
calories. But
guy, man.
oh yes, of course,
Yeah,
so fucking good.
and like around Easter, the mini eggs. Like the mini
The
eggs are
best.
dangerous. My
Yeah,
fiance likes the cream eggs; those are good too.
for
But
sure.
chocolate, or the Arrow bar. If I gotta go to bar, Arrow. Gotta feel the bubbles melt, man.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of your girlfriend, you mentioned her really quick. Maybe another thing that we have in common is she Greek?
She is Greek, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, me too. My
Full
girlfriend's
blood.
Greek. Yeah,
Yeah,
born and raised. Shipped
yeah,
her over.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's
That
definitely something
wedding's
else we
gonna
got in
be
common.
something else. Greek Italian.
That's it. Busato Viviani. Like, does it get any more Italian than that? Like, have you ever tagged with Flying Frank Milano? Then obviously he's pretty, you know,
Have I tagged? You know what? Funny enough, I did.
crazy.
WrestleMania weekend last year. We did a Friday night speedball. Or you know what that is?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Like it's sort of like
It's kind of
underground
like
ish.
the no ring
Yeah,
shows, basically, but like with tons of gimmicks and things and inflatables and whatever we can put our hands on.
lots of pain being slammed almost on the ground directly. I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh my god. And like we did one at God, his name's leaving my brain right now. Tony Deppen. He like I think he's owner or part owner of a brewery called the Pilgaroo
Shit,
in
nice.
Pottsville, Pennsylvania, just like an hour and a half away from Philly. And yeah, we did a Friday night speedball there for WrestleMania weekend, and me and Milano teamed up against I believe it was the team of Junie Underwood and the other guy. His name escapes me, but yeah, Junie Underwood and another American, and it was fun, man. The one and only time me and Milano ever teamed up. Had like 5 minutes to come up with tag team offense because we got there really late with traffic and the WrestleMania madness and all
Holy
the
shit.
border things. We had to drop off Eddie in Philly on the way and Chato at the hotel. It was the whole thing, but it was a lot of fun, man. We had a great time.
Yeah, if anyone could do it, put it together that quick, it's probably you two. And because you guys have known each other probably a long time, even if you haven't, tagged together. Seems like you guys have
Yeah,
been a
we know
part of
all
the
each
dojo
other's
forever.
offense. We're like, oh, how can we take that thing you do here and stick it with my thing here? You know, like, oh,
That's
if you do
sick.
your wheelbarrow thing, can I like grab the guy into a sharpshooter right through it? Like, just things like that. Like, all right, we
That's
got 5 minutes.
crazy.
Shit, the Americans are freaking out. They're like, oh my god.
And all that for like this, underground kind of like, speedball match. Like, you still put the work
Yeah,
in.
like Joey Janela was there. Like, we had a bunch of people
No
there. It was
way.
awesome. Great time.
He was working recently with my boy, Ricky Berwick. You ever seen him online?
Ricky Berwick, I can't
Like,
say that I have no.
small, kind of like deformed, great guy. I say that in jest because he loves to joke about it. But, he's on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. If you
Oh, I
haven't seen
think
him,
I know who you're talking about. Actually, yeah, he does like really close up videos and stuff, and
as
like,
disgusting as possible, eat a cookie out of his butt, like.
right, yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah,
great
yeah.
dude. Yeah, yeah. He was randomly in some with Joey Janela recently, which was pretty crazy. But I guess we have to get into gaming because that seems to be like a big part of your life outside of wrestling. So let's start maybe from the beginning. Like, how did you first get into gaming? What was your first console or first games? Like, where did that come from? Was it from your parents or from you, or how did it all start?
So funny enough, I got into gaming around the exact same time I got into wrestling. Like oddly
Crazy.
enough, like so my parents were like big on like going to flea markets and stuff on weekends and back in the day. Like we got that big one, 5 star on the highway there off the 40.
Yeah, in like Saint Eustache.
No, no, it's called Cinq Étoiles. It's off of is it Lac-Ordère or something like that or
Is this like an Italian thing? Because the only time I would go to the flea market was with my Italian friend and his family, and they'd buy tomatoes and eat them like an apple. And I was like, "The fuck's going on here?"
let me look it up. It's
Or like
yeah,
going
it's
in.
off the Metropolitan,
Okay,
Mashopus Metropolitan.
I don't
Yeah,
know
they
if I've
have
been
like
to
a
that one.
huge ass arcade in there now. I went last year. It's insane, big arcade.
No
And
way.
but yeah, like to come back around with that question. So we would go to our flea market and stuff, and we just picked up a Super Nintendo one day and brought it home. We got the Mario All Stars game there, and man, it had like everything on it. And I
Yeah.
remember my dad once we picked that up, he's like, I think I still have the original Nintendo, like the VCR looking thing. At his mom's place, so like he went to grab that, and then I got to experience the light gun for the first time, shooting the ducks in Duck Hunt. I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy, and like that's how my love for video games began. And my first
Crazy.
My first experience with the video game Doom was on the Super Nintendo, which I had come to find out later was like a really dumbed down version because it was a PC original. But
Yeah.
man, just like the first time hearing that, like shotgunning demons in the face, it's just like that was game changing. And I remember my dad, like around the time like I was experiencing all these games, my dad came into the room one time. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "Can I change the channel for a sec? I want to watch something." He changes it and he puts on wrestling, and that was my first experience of wrestling. I remember like Undertaker was coming out, and there was like Yokozuna and Vader, and I'm like, holy shit, this is pretty cool. And that's how that started. It all just happened at once.
That's a lot. That's a lot to take in, like in the same day. That much. So
Yeah, I was like, oh, just like it just like wrote my life in like 1 hour.
That's crazy. Some of my earliest, everyone, I asked that to a lot of people, ask the guys on the pod and everything else. What's your earliest wrestling memory? It's hard to like pinpoint that first one, but you can remember it. Like I can remember because my dad was into it, so that's what kind of got me into it. I remember the Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez is one of like the. I might have seen something before that, but that's one that stands out in my mind because it was so weird. The Undertaker was so incredible, so epic. It's WrestleMania, and Giant Gonzalez comes out in like this muscle suit with like hair.
Yeah, that thing was weird.
And that, like, why?
I don't know, like what the thought behind that was.
It was, as a kid, I loved it.
But like back then, we had what was known as the box. So we got all the pay-per-views and everything, and
sick, yeah.
back when SmackDown was on UPN, we got SmackDown. I was able to see like the rise of John Cena and everything. It was awesome.
That's like the best time to get into it. And I guess thinking with video games before we get more into that, what would you say then is your favorite game of all time, or like top 4, top 5? Like I know it's so hard to pick, but
it is hard to pick. It really is. Like I've always been a big Halo guy. I grew up with the Halo games. Like man,
did you play
Halo
online as well, or
Halo...
was it more about like just the single player campaign?
The multiplayer too, but like I remember, man, firing up the OG Xbox the first time and like Halo and that and like jumping on the Warthog and machine gunning, like it was like the biggest graphical leap like ever. Like it was just like now it's just like graphical leaps are like the trees look a little nicer, like they're like it's not
There's extra
it's not
shadows, extra lighting. I'm like, oh
yeah, you could see like freaking rays of light with dust particles in them and stuff. And but back then it was like you're going from triangle titties to round titties. It was huge. It was
like Duke Nukem that conquers Bad Fur Day or so. It was a big jump.
yeah, man, seriously. And so like the Halo games are always like they got a special place in my heart. I think the greatest game of all time that just blew me away in just like every single aspect though was Ghost of Tsushima.
So freaking good. So good. I only
like
just played it recently for the first time.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, just
the second one's coming out soon, huh?
Yeah,
October.
It's timing. I got into it late, so I'm pretty much ready for 2 now that it's almost ready.
Yeah, and I gotta mention GTA 5. Like it's come out on what three generations of systems now. Like it's just it's the best. It's Vice City will always have a special place in my heart because that game is the reason I love 80s music and just the 80s aesthetic. Even though I'm a 90s kid. Like, Vice City is a big reason that I even have, like, the current gimmick I have now. Yeah. Grand Theft Auto, like, for me, it's not just, like, a singular game. It's more, like, series. Like, big on, like, the Halo, Grand Theft Auto, Mario Kart, of course. Just Mario in general, like, Mario Party. Like, me and the fiancé, like, since I got the Switch 2, we took the Switch 1 and threw it on the bedroom TV. And, like, yesterday we stayed up until, like, 1 in the morning playing Mario Party in bed, like it was a blast.
Who won though? Do you go easy on her? Do you have some stars at the end? Do you play dirty? How's it work with the GF?
I'm usually like I'm a cutthroat player. Like I will fucking take your stars. I will take all your coins. I'll rob you every turn. If I even have a feeling you might pass me next turn, I'm stealing your shit. And my fiance is a little nice, She lands on the space where she can steal my star. She doesn't do it. Right. My competitive side is like just fucking do it, but like she doesn't do it, so I don't do it to her. So
if anybody else comes into the house, if you're playing against anybody else,
anybody else is getting torched. You're getting torched, man. I'm taking your stars. I'm taking your coins. I'm throwing those spaces that steal your shit. Just even the new one has these like special dice that make you like only roll from 1 to 3.
That's so dirty.
There's one level where like you're in a mall and like there's an item that marks up all the prices by double, and like we were playing that mall level the other day, like me and my fiance, and one of the computers just kept hammering her with that sticker, was ruthless, man. The AIs are just ruthless.
They don't give a shit. I
No.
think one of the ones we were most heated at growing up was Super Smash Bros. Whether it was 64 or Melee, and then obviously after that. But those two, I think those are the ones that we got like so competitive at, so angry. Like obviously Mario Party for sure, but Smash Bros. Definitely up there for sure too.
Think with that fucking up B spin attack. Ah!
Someone's always got like a cheese move that you got to do, of course, and abuse it. And I think on Love Wrestling, shout out to those guys. Interview a while back, you talked about Mass Effect. That was one of my favorite games. 1, 2, and 3.
Yes. How the hell can I forget that? I actually have like a whole freaking cabinet over here, like full of Mass Effect things.
No way. An N7 helmet? Fucking crazy.
Got the Mako, that
ships,
piece of
the
shit that
Mako.
always flips over.
Yeah, but it was so good. Sovereign.
Yeah. Elusive Man, this thing can.
That's a fucking sick collection, dude. Holy Liara.
Yeah.
Man, that, when you try to play through it as a good guy, as a bad guy, as a neutral, whatever, just to get all like the achievements, when you have to like shoot Rex, it's one of the most painful things I've ever gone through in my whole gaming life. Like you have to do it just to get like the completion, but fuck, man.
Yeah, man, I did like everything you could do in that game. I think I beat all of them on Insanity on Xbox and PlayStation. I actually re-got the Legendary Collection on PlayStation recently, like I think last year, and just went through all of them, man. So
I think
good.
I beat like 1, 2, and 3 so many times that I haven't bought the new collection, but I got to, get into the remaster and try it at least. What about Witcher? Did you ever play Witcher 3?
So I had started it on whatever the hardest difficulty is called. Like
You started
right
it on the hardest difficulty? What?
I think I got like about a
There was
quarter
like no
way
HUD,
through.
no map, no nothing.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I don't remember what it was called, the difficulty, but I had mastered like the whole like fighting system and stuff. Like, 'cause I had played like some Souls games, so like I'm used to the rolling and the patience and the parrying and shit like that. I was doing really good. Like only like a few enemies and sections gave me some problems. But then I think Last of Us 2 came out like during that week that I was playing. I started playing Last of Us 2, and like I just never went back to Witcher. Because I think I had beaten Last of Us 2, and then something else, I think Final Fantasy 7 Remake also came out around that same window, so I started playing that. And then by that point, like, I had completely forgotten, like, what I was doing and how to play Witcher, so, like, I'm gonna have to just start over from scratch, like...
Well, I mean, the new one should be coming out at some point, playing a series, stuff like that. That's going to be sick, but I don't know when that's going to come out. But they really liked, or they were inspired by Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Have you played that one that just came out not long ago?
No, I heard it was really good, though. Like, a friend of mine had played the first one back when it was, like, a game that nobody really knew existed.
That was like my buddy Jason, yeah, from the podcast. He was like, oh, you got to play this game when it comes out, because I love the first one. Looked at the first one, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it looks like, it was made in, like, a cellar, like...
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
number 2 is so sick, man. It is crazy. It is really, really good. It is beautiful. And I didn't think anything would rival it for Game of the Year until I played Expedition 33. And a lot of people are saying that should be Game of the Year. And I understand why. It's a beautiful game, too. And it's an RPG. So, and I can tell that you're not afraid of RPGs. You're not afraid of JRPGs. Like, you'll play anything.
Yeah. I'm kind of like an all-around gamer, honestly. That's another game people have been telling me about. But, like, and my backlog is just ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. Especially now that you have a Switch, too. Like, everything
Yeah,
else get
like,
dropped for a bit.
I've been playing the hell out of Mario Kart World. It's pretty cool, man. Like, this new knockout mode. It's basically like one long sprint of a race, and it takes like sections from multiple maps, and it's like one big sprint, and it has checkpoints along the way. And in that checkpoint, you'll see like a big number because now there's 24 racers. It's chaos.
Holy shit, that's fucking huge.
Yeah, bro. There's like shit flying everywhere at all times.
Like, items everywhere. It's just like...
And I'm like really good at like the core racing, so I'm like always in first, and I'm just getting blue shelled. Like the amount of races I've lost, just like getting blue shelled right on the finish line, like it's frustrating. But in knockout mode, for example, there'll be these random like checkpoint gates, and it'll have a number. It'll say like 20. And when you cross through that gate, if you're not in the first 20 racers, you're like immediately. It's like a Royal Rumble. You're just like eliminated from the race.
That's
You get like kicked out of the race, and then you're spectating. And like, and then you get to the next gate, and it's like, okay, 18, bang, like 14, 12, and until you get down to like the final 4, and then it goes as like a traditional race, and it's just chaos, man. Like it's online, it's like no holds barred, just like bah, 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 like green shells ricocheting off the walls, like lightning striking while you're like flying and you land in the water and you're like,
What controller are you using for that? Obviously, if you're playing at a high level, you're not using like the little
I'm using
Joy-Cons, right?
this thing right here, like the
Fucking
Switch
sick.
One
Yeah,
Pro. They made a
perfect.
Switch 2 Pro, but I haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah.
But here's something pretty neat that I picked up. Like it immediately sold out, so I'm glad I did. I got this bad boy right here.
So sick. That's crazy. That's so key. Like I remember booting up Luigi's Mansion for the first time when I first got my GameCube, and that was like another sort of like graphical jump for Nintendo that blew my mind.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there's some good
100%.
wrestling games for GameCube, like Day of Reckoning was sick because it had a great story mode. And Trish Stratus on the cover doesn't hurt,
I love that you mentioned that because did you play WrestleMania 19
Which one's
on the
WrestleMania
GameCube?
19? On
It's
the
a
GameCube? Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
game
for sure.
had
Yeah, I
one
can
of the
picture the cover of it now.
weirdest
Is that
story
Kurt Angle on the
modes.
cover and stuff?
Yeah, Kurt
Austin?
Angle like going like that,
Yeah.
and I don't remember who else. But that game had one of the weirdest story modes like I have ever seen. You're literally like killing construction workers in some missions, throwing them off of like rooftops, and they're going to malls and beating up mall security and smashing them through windows. I'm like, what the fuck am I playing? And then Hurricane makes a run in. It's like, what's going on here? You're fighting on the roof, and then like, oh, here's jobber Randy Orton in his blue like track pants shorts from like 2002. What is happening? I think the whole point of the story is like you hate Vince and you're trying to sabotage WrestleMania, so you're like killing fucking blue collar workers.
So insane.
For anybody that hasn't played this game, like go see it. It's actually hilarious. Like I played as Undertaker. I'm giving guys like last rides off of buildings and stuff.
This is for kids. This is a wrestling game, and like this is
Yeah, I'm
what I'm
like,
doing
what
now.
am I playing? There's
Yo.
one match. You're like you're in like a warehouse, and there's like I don't know what championship and why there's a championship, but there's a championship on a conveyor belt like going around. And I remember it being like the hardest fucking mission to complete because like while fighting three other guys, you have to set up the ladder, which you can knock down with just like a stray like punch in this game. And you gotta wait till like the conveyor belt passes with the freaking belt. So like and like guys like no sell everything in this game.
That's so stupid. Yeah.
That game, I'm getting mad thinking about it. Like it's one of those games. It's just like broken controller is 100%.
100%. I mean, I just love that those storylines in those games, you could lose a match and it still keeps going, right? Like there's like some sort of branching off story where it's like you lose this match, you drop down, and you go into something else. Instead of games today where it's like if you lose the match, you got to replay the match. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on here? In the story mode, it should be able to keep going, and you got to win another couple matches to get back to your spot or something.
I think Here Comes the Pain did that the best.
Oh, crazy.
You would lose a match and then like, okay, now you're going for the Intercontinental belt and you're like, oh fuck, I gotta work my way back up. Then you go
So
in the
it should
locker room, you talk to Sable, you can make her become your manager, like you like bang Tori Wilson in the shower. And then you like make a faction. You can actually like depending on like your what you choose in the dialogue, you could turn heel or face and align with Vince and be corporate. Like I remember that game, man. I probably played that story mode like over 100 times. Like
It was that good. That's what we wanted instead of just these, linear storylines where you can't do anything. And maybe that's going to
Yeah.
lead to one day you tagging with Frank Milano and Erica's going to be your manager and it'll be the all Italian team. I don't know.
yeah, I'm gonna put him through this random cutscenes were like I don't know if you remember the backstage attacks. You're like driving a motorcycle, you could like drag a guy and like throw him into like oil barrels and shit. Like
Insane.
I remember there was one storyline in that game where like you get randomly attacked in the parking lot by somebody like someone's driving a car, remember, and someone's like hanging out the window with a sledgehammer and they hit you and you can't see who it is until like weeks later where there's like security footage. I think they were trying to like mimic like the Triple H Shawn thing from like 2002. It was you, Hunter. And like I remember that game had random legends in it. Like it just and the guy who attacked me was Roddy Piper.
What?
It's like not even active. Like it's so funny that game. And then you'll see they had like a tag team tournament and it was a tag team of like Big Show and the Iron Sheik. Like shit like that was just hilarious.
I mean, those are like dream combinations. I'm down for it, but it's just so random. And the stories are
Yeah.
actually, a little bit deeper than a lot of the stories that are going on today. So they had something. They were cooking.
Yeah, so good, man. So good. The peak era of WWE games.
And I have one here. This is Twilight Kingdom right there. So are you a Zelda guy? Did you play the Zelda games? And if so, do you have, a favorite or a couple favorites?
So I think I've played them all.
Yeah, we don't have
I
to
think
count
my-
like DS games or whatever.
Yeah, I played those too though. There's a real banger one, Link Between Worlds. I don't know if you tried that one.
I feel like I've played every one, but it's one of those again. Those series are like I can't remember which one's which when it comes to like
Yeah,
the mobile ones or whatever.
I think my favorite of all time though has got to be Twilight Princess.
So good.
It's just like the story mode, the puzzles, the temples, the items you use. Like there's a nice variety of items, the art style, uh, the twist with Ganondorf, the fight with Ganondorf, like just
Easy.
banger, man, start to finish. And I don't know about you, but I like Breath of the Wild more than Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, it's really really hard for me to choose. I mean, when I started Tears of the Kingdom, I think I actually played it for like a couple weeks and put it down because I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And combining things and moving things, and I really wasn't into it. And then
Yeah.
I loved it after that when I picked it back up. It was the same with The Witcher. I tried The Witcher at first, played for a few hours, and I was like, "This is fucked. I don't know what the hell I'm doing with this." Put it down.
Yeah.
I had to pick it back up later.
Yeah, there's a few games like that, to be honest. I think even, funny enough, the first time I played Mass Effect, it was like, oh, what's this, you know?
Same. Mass
It was
Effect.
like
I was like,
the shooting was so bad, and then when Mass Effect 2 came out, I'm like, oh, fuck, okay.
yeah, that was it. It took other people to tell me, even like for The Witcher, like, no, you have to push through, play this game, do it. Same with Mass Effect. Mass Effect 1, I was like, this is broken game. It's no good. And then
Yeah.
obsessed. Like I have the action figures, but they're still sealed, so I haven't opened them. They're the only things that I have sealed. Everything else I try to open up, except for like one Bucky O'Hare that's in the box, and then the Mass Effect figures. Everything else I open because whatever, like Halo, open them all up. Doesn't matter.
Like, I guess you have the line I had there from like Mass Effect 2 or 3. There's like Grunt and all that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like, okay, yeah. The Legion figure is the sickest.
so sick. I'm open to open them up too. Like I just haven't for whatever reason, but not opposed to it. I will do
Did
it
you
one
see
day.
the Dark Horse statues they've been making of Mass
No.
Effect? So in my cabinet there, like I had a Rex, a Liara, a Garrus, and a Tali, and I think later this year they're coming out with Legion and Jack. And I think it's like Jack from Mass Effect 3 where she has hair and like more clothing.
Yeah,
And
my girlfriend will allow it on the shelf.
yeah, exactly. And I think also later this year or early next year they're gonna have male Shep and Fem Shep too.
Fucking sick. Yo, definitely
Yeah,
down.
they're nice, man. They're really nice.
So I guess I got to get into Habs a little bit because I've been a huge Habs fan my entire life. Got a Saku autograph over there when I got to meet him with skate with the Canadians. A puck from the inaugural match at the Bell Center or the Molson Center at the time. How did you get into the Habs, or how did you get into hockey? Where does that come from? Was it like a family thing, or always been a
It's
thing?
kind of like just growing up, it was everywhere. Elementary school, playing like mini stick hockey in the schoolyard and stuff like that. Yeah, I've been a fan for like since like the late '90s. I started really, really getting into it in like the early 2000s.
That's
Around
a lot
like
of
the
tough years though to be a fan.
yeah, but once we got Kovalev,
Oh.
like that was like that Koivu Kovalev, freaking like Sheldon Surrey, Cristobal Huet era.
So sick.
I was actually at the game in 2008 where the Habs came back from 5-0 against the Rangers, and that
One of the
was like
greatest
the
games
craziest,
of all time.
that was insane. Like it was like we won the Stanley Cup. And the only thing I've seen live that can rival that, like Habs, was in 2014. I was at the playoff game where Subban got a breakaway coming out of the penalty box and scored a game winner against the Bruins.
I got shivers. I got goosebumps. It's fucking
Oh
crazy.
fuck! Like insane, man. That was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And I've seen a few like milestone things from the Habs. I've seen Nick Suzuki's first ever goal.
Fucking sick.
Who's that defenseman we had just like 2 or 3 years ago that like never fucking scored for like a million games, and then he finally scored? We don't have him anymore. God, I can't remember.
It'll come to you at some point. I don't remember if it was Commissaric or somebody like.
No, he was like, this is like not that long ago. I want to say like 3 years ago.
That was recent then.
Yeah, he was one of our defensemen. He had played so many games before, like, finally scoring his first goal, but I was there for that. Yeah, just, like, quite a few, like, random little milestone things. It's pretty cool. Like, I've gotten to see quite a few Habs games over the years.
Yeah, that's it. I think your feed was full of different Habs games, which is awesome. Because I mean, if you haven't been to a Habs game live, it's a completely different world. Obviously, watching on TV,
Yeah,
you
like,
can hear it, but you can't feel it.
big time. And like I did a Chinlock wrestling show in Kingston a few weeks back, and Tommy Dreamer was on it, and we started talking about hockey a little bit, and
That's sick.
he was actually at the Bell Center for the game where Demidov scored against Chicago,
So
and
random.
because he was checking off like NHL arenas that he had never seen yet, and I think he had like Montreal and Ottawa to do, and then that was it. And yeah, he said like nothing came close to Montreal. He's like Demidov scoring was like one of the most insane pops he's ever seen. He's like it was like the biggest babyface pop you'd ever heard. And he's
Compared to
like
the
man,
Canadian
he's
Tire
like,
Center down the road, that's
yeah.
nothing against the Sens, but I've been there for a few games. It's not obviously it's not the same.
And then he's like, man, what terrible booking to not put your top babyface Demidov in the shootout after. He's like terrible booking, terrible booking.
Yeah, facts. I mean, we were really lucky to have that cup run, and that was sort of like my girlfriend. We've been together 5-6 years, and she didn't know anything about hockey because she's born and raised in Greece. So when she came over here, one of her first introductions to hockey was like our cup run and making the Stanley Cup Finals and stuff like that. And I was like, trying to tell her throughout the run, don't get used to this. This isn't something
Yeah,
that happens. Like you just enjoy it for what it is, whether we win or lose. Just absorb this because it may never happen again in our lifetime. We don't know.
man, like I remember exactly where I was like when we scored that overtime goal too. Like I was actually
Was it the
at
Lekanen
Peel
one?
Pub, the overtime goal against Vegas to go to the
Oh,
final. Yeah, the Arturi Lehkonen goal from
yeah.
Deneau. That beautiful play you just see coming. Like they're all three skating up the ice, and you're like, "Oh fuck!" Yeah, like the whole bar went quiet and then exploded because like everybody knew like this could be it. And like I remember, I was there with the Green Phantom, and he was he was wearing like this Montreal Canadiens mask. One of the rare times it's not a green mask; he had a blue mask.
I don't think I've ever
And
seen him with a non-green mask on, so that's crazy.
yeah,
It's a special moment.
and man, I remember like I guess because the police were anticipating like chaos and riots. That fucking overtime goal went in, and like we went nuts. And like literally the second we went outside, we were tear gas. Like the one and only
What?
time like they'd even like give us a chance to like exit the bar. The cops are just like on horseback throwing like tear grenades. I'm like, what the fuck is like way to like fuck up like one of the coolest moments we've had in this city in like 30 years.
Jesus.
Like
Like, and I get it. Like the
during
last time
COVID
we,
too, like it kind
yeah,
of like reignited the city. Like, come
exactly.
on, man.
Especially when we had the craziest restrictions, and I'm all down. We needed some things. Family works in healthcare and all of that, but yeah, we had curfew and everything else. We weren't allowed out of our house at night.
Yeah, it was.
Let us enjoy the moment.
It's crazy sometimes. Like I think about like we lived through something like that. Like it almost feels like a dream. Like
It is.
we lived through a pandemic, and like I remember like I was out just this week. I was at a shopping mall, and like I saw 2 or 3 people with masks still, and I'm like, holy shit! Remember when we had to have this? Like I remember like it was like just like an instinct as I'd get out of my truck to like put my mask on and go into like a store. Like
Yeah.
now it's like it never happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
it's
something that
crazy.
came prevalent during COVID was card collecting became big again. Did you ever collect hockey cards as a kid or during COVID or anything like that?
Only ever like when I was a kid, I had Pokemon cards, and that was
Yeah,
about
same.
it. And oh man, every time I think about this, I want to cry because like I had a fucking binder that had every single like Gen 1 card, all of them.
No.
I had the entire like shiny Charizard, and then I'm seeing fucking Logan Paul come out with this. He's wearing it, and it's worth like $500,000, and I'm like, what? My mom threw it out at some point.
Not
Or
even like
gave it
garage
away.
sale. Didn't even.
You
Or,
might have
yeah,
just
we don't
made
know.
somebody
We
a
don't know.
millionaire. You know what I mean? Like, two of my biggest regrets in life are losing that and not investing in fucking Bitcoin.
For sure, same. Or like when
Yeah.
I worked at Apple for many many years. Like when the first Apple store opened up at Fairview Point Clare, it was like a dream of mine. I'm like, I'm gonna work there, and
Shit,
right away.
from what year to what year did you work there?
I've been 2008 to 2000 and maybe to 2011, and then I went to Carrefour Laval. I also worked at the downtown one. I worked for Apple in total about 10 years, including 2 years in Scotland, but
Oh
just
shit!
about
Wow.
10 years.
Okay.
It was before the
Did
iPad
you know?
came out.
Did you know a Mike Monty?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. He's actually a good friend of mine.
No way.
Yeah, man.
Super good dude.
He's gonna be a groomsman at my wedding.
Let's go. That's crazy. Yo, definitely tell him what up when you see him for sure.
Yeah,
Hopefully
that's
he remembers me.
insane. Yeah, small world, man.
Crazy. Yeah, that was definitely a blast from the past.
Yeah.
I know you're an Owls fan too, right? Are you going to go see any games this year? We just had the flyover. The Owls look good. I mean, we have a chance this year, so planning on getting up to any games or?
like I'll tune in like when it's playoff time. I'm
Yeah.
not a big like regular season CFL
Yeah,
guy,
that's
but
fair.
like I've seen like a handful of Al's games, and just like those seats are so uncomfortable. Like I always leave Percival Molson with a sore ass and lower back, and it's just like it's not for me, man. It's not
And
for
on one
me.
side of the stadium is kind of dark. I've always sat on one side of the stadium, and then shout out to my boy Jason last year. Took us to a game, but it was on the other side, and so it was just sun blasting down. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm the whitest person other than Seamus, so I was dying, man. Like I didn't know it was gonna be that sunny. So and they ran out of water bottles
Man.
on one side of the stadium. That's how friggin' hot it was. Everybody bought out the water. It was sold out, so you'd have to walk like around the stadium uphill. So I ended up going outside to get to the water fountain because we just couldn't find any water. It was that
Wow, that's
friggin'
crazy,
hot.
man.
Like, ginger problems,
Yeah, like I find like that stadium and the Saputo Stadium are just like they're a bit of a pain in the ass to get to, and like just inconvenient. And I don't know, man. Nothing beats the Bell Center.
Nothing.
Like,
No location.
when I
everything
know I'm
else.
going to the Bell Center, like I'm excited. When I got to go there, it feels like, do I really want to see this game? You know, like, and the tickets usually free, so it's like
Yeah.
But yeah,
Switching up a little bit. Did you have a favorite cartoon growing up?
I had like it's got to be like a tie with like The Simpsons and Dragon Ball Z, probably.
Whoa, crazy! Yeah, great combo. That was like my
Yeah,
first intro to anime. Probably it was like Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z. I think.
yeah, me too, me too. Like I didn't even know like anime was anime. I just thought it was just like a
Yeah,
cool
it's just a
looking
cartoon.
show, you know. And I realized like there's it's a whole genre like years later.
Yeah,
But yeah,
there's
to
a
this day,
lot to consume.
Still a big Dragon Ball guy to this day. Got that Sparking Zero game back in October. So cool, man. It's like you're playing the show. It's
I've only
so many
watched it a lot on
characters.
Twitch. I haven't played it, but I've seen it a lot.
Oh, it's like the colors and the energy blast and everything. It just looks so awesome. And I had picked up on Black Friday on sale this thing for my TV. It's like a Govee light. It's like a little camera that goes on top of like my TV
Yep,
with an LED strip in the back, and it actually matches the light that's on the screen.
that's so
So
good.
like if like Goku's on one side and Frieza's on the other, and they have like an energy blast into each other, like literally the lights on one side will be blue and the other will be like purple and pink and whatever, and it's just
Fucking
like
sick.
insane. Like it's so cool.
Might be the nerdiest thing of all time, but it's fucking sick. I have one too, but it's not. My girlfriend doesn't like the changing lights. She wants it just to be,
Okay, yeah,
just like a little back light. But when I can,
yeah. It's so
light it
cool,
up.
man.
It's
Like,
fucking
and
sick.
can you like on your phone? Can you do like different effects and stuff? Like I have like a whole like page of things. I can like simulate like a thunderstorm and
That might be the Govee 2. Maybe you have like the 3 or something like that.
I'm not sure what it's called.
'Cause I think it's the same brand.
I think it's called
Pretty sure.
Govee Backlight. Maybe 3. Yeah, maybe 3.
Yeah. You might have the 3 out
Yeah.
of the 2 because it doesn't have all the options. Like it's great. I love it. It's fucking awesome. If you don't have a
Yeah.
backlight on your TV, it's definitely worth getting because it really, I don't know, it just lights up the TV better. It looks so much better, even if you just keep one color. But when you're watching a movie or watching, Dragon Ball, it must be just adds to it so
Dragon
much.
Ball's awesome, man. Like
Yeah.
even like we're watching like Andor and Star Wars and stuff, and just like the laser blasts and when they fight in space and the TIE fighters are shooting green and it flashes green and like the X-wings with the red. It's
Fucking
lightsaber
sick.
battles and the lightsabers clash. It's awesome, man. It's awesome.
If you had to choose between Star Wars or Game of Thrones, you could only watch one for forever.
Star
Which one would
Wars.
you pick? Yeah, Star Wars over Game of Thrones. I mean, that's a big one. Do you have a favorite Star Wars movie then, or like a couple? Is it the older ones? Is it one of the newer ones?
For me, it's a tie between Revenge of the Sith and Rogue One.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Rogue
Rogue
One
One's
is so
just
fucking sick.
so good, man. Like,
Yeah.
remember like Star Wars when Force Awakens came out. I really liked Force Awakens. I'm like, okay,
Nice.
we're in. This is like,
Go back.
yeah, this is cool, man. Like all the little throwbacks and shit. And then Rogue One came out a year later, and I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. And then The Last Jedi came out, and I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? What have they done to my what have they done to my boy?
Yeah.
I'm a notorious Last Jedi hater. Like I
Yeah,
hate
that's
that
fair.
movie. Like it's it's just like when you watch Empire and stuff, and you see like Yoda becoming all decrepit and shit, and like
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back was probably my favorite growing up. Like a lot of people,
yeah,
sure.
me too. Until I saw Revenge, but
Yeah.
man, like when Return of the Jedi ends, as a kid, you're always like you have all these cool like thoughts of like what Luke went on to do, right? You're like, oh, he's gonna rebuild the Jedi Order. He's such a badass now. Even like some video games, like I don't know if you ever played like the Jedi Knight games. Like Luke has his own like temple on Yavin, and he's training all these new Jedi. And
So
you're like,
sick.
oh fuck, awesome.
Nice
Like,
Old
that's
Republic was
got to be
fucking
what
great.
he's doing, right? But no, then the Last Jedi comes out, and he just becomes another fucking decrepit Yoda, and it's like, why? This would never happen.
Wrote this? This is so stupid.
Like, I hated it. I hate
Yeah,
when he tossed the
unacceptable.
lightsaber, or at the. I'm like,
Nope.
what? Where are we going with this?
No.
And then it
trash.
just got worse and worse and worse. And like, I don't know, man. I can talk about the movie for days. How much I hate it. Like, how much is wrong with it, and like, it kind of like fucked up completely. Where I think Abrams was originally going with Force Awakens. Like Ryan Johnson came in and just like shat the bed hard, and then it went back to Abrams for the third one, and it's just like, what? Like, how you gonna erase this mess? And like the third movie just looked like, I don't know, man. It looked like a pissing contest between two directors, and it was just a convoluted mess and with no direction. And that movie sucked too. I gotta say, like, it's just, yeah, that sequel trilogy is a shame, man. It really started off great and just went right downhill.
Episode 1 was kind of cool because we would, watched 4, 5, and 6 as a kid, loved it, obsessed, and then finally we're getting Star Wars back. It's coming out. We get episode 1, and I know it gets a lot of hate, but I still enjoyed it. I was still, back in the universe. We had pod racing, we had Darth Maul. Like, it was off to like a good start.
I loved it, man. As a kid, like the prequel trilogy gets so much shit, but maybe because I was a kid and like it blew my mind, all these special effects and the clone troopers and the battle droids and everything and the Darth Maul. I remember the first time Darth Maul like ignited that second lightsaber. To this day, like, it's one of the biggest like movie theater like shit my pants moments like ever. Like, holy fuck, this is it. And the music, hearing Duel of the Fates for the first time, man, Phantom Menace always has a special place in my heart, man. Like that when Qui-Gon dies and Obi-Wan and Maul have that like high speed fight, and it's like, man, the choreography there, and the freaking Darth Maul hits him with a super kick. I'm like, oh fuck. Yeah, it's so crazy, so crazy. But yeah, they definitely, with that said, they have to make a new pod racing game, man. Like, make a next-gen pod racing game with full customization, like online, like a shop where you can fucking put decals on it and buy parts, and make it like a Forza or a Gran Turismo, but pod racing. Perfect. Let's go. What are we waiting for?
Fucking down, man. That would be crazy. Surprised they haven't do that. They love money. That's all they want is money. Let's fucking go. Start printing it.
Yeah, they've been trying to revive Battlefront 2. Have you seen that?
Yeah, for sure. It seems like it's getting a lot of play, though. Like, the numbers are really good. Like, there's a lot of active users still.
I jumped back on a little bit. It's so good, man. It's a shame that game did not have the launch like it deserved.
I played it launch, and it wasn't great, so I kind of like dipped out, and now I play like Apex Legends and stuff, but I'm down to get back into it, because the player count is rising.
It's awesome, man. Like, I've played a few matches like on Geonosis and stuff, and it's just like, it feels like I'm playing Attack of the Clones, like just being one of the clones, and there's just freaking drop ships flying over you, and then you'll just see like General Grievous charge through with the spinny things and just like fucks up like 14 guys at once. It's so cool.
And speaking of movie theater pops, what I was going to bring up before, I got into the Marvel stuff kind of late because I got into acting, and then watching some of the Marvel movies, the early ones, they were so good, the acting was amazing.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, and it started to get awkward and weird over there, but we don't have to go too deep into it. What are your favorite Marvel movies then, or at least a few of them?
Definitely like Infinity War. Like,
so good.
Like, man, and like, I think Infinity War was better than Endgame, like, in my opinion. However, like, Endgame had two of the biggest like movie theater pops I think I've ever fucking seen. Like when Cap catches Thor's hammer, and the on your left moment, like, I'm getting goosebumps now, man. Like, when they all start coming through the portals and shit. Like, that movie had so many pops, man. Like, Thanos snapping and then realizing the stones aren't there, and
the crowd.
And then obviously, like, Spider-Man, the newest Spider-Man, when fucking Garfield shows up, and then Maguire, like, those two pops, and then fucking Garfield catching
he gets a lot of flack too, but I loved Andrew Garfield. I know he wasn't like the perfect Spider-Man or whatever, but he's such a great actor that I thought he did something different and cool with it.
Personally, he wasn't my favorite, but like,
that's
I don't
fair.
hate
Of course,
him.
shouldn't be
anyone's
favorite.
Yeah,
you just get
I don't think he deserves I don't think he deserves to get shit on. Like, he's not bad. He's just not my favorite. Like,
exactly. He wasn't the right choice, but I thought what he did with it was really good, and so I thought the shit goes the shit talking goes too far a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, and other than that, Marvel wise, like, Like there's definitely like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like those are such good movies.
So good, so
like,
good. Like
yeah,
seeing
the first
the
one.
last one after Black Adam, I mean, like this is how it's supposed to be. Like it didn't.
Yeah,
Black Adam didn't have
exactly.
to be like that.
Yeah, yeah. Guardians are like really good. Like I really like the newest Deadpool with Wolverine.
Deadpool Wolverine was really fucking. That was a great movie. In those, that's the type of movie you want to see in the theaters early because you want to be with a lot of people. And like
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
we're all like less social, especially after COVID or whatever. You don't want to be around a lot of people, but it adds to it so much.
yeah, yeah. And like a lot of people shout on how the movie like wasn't serious or whatever,
Yeah,
but I'm like, it's fucking Deadpool, man.
exactly. What do you
It's like what are you expecting? What are you expecting here? Yeah, I
And
don't know.
I was really lucky to meet Hugh Jackman on set. I was an extra in Days of Future Past, and I
Wow.
was on set the day with him. And he bought like Australian. It was Australia Day, so he bought Australian catering for everybody. Took time, spoke to every single person, asked them how they're doing, asked them what they like the food, this and that. And he's that type of actor that I love. Where James McAvoy is similar, I guess, kind of like to me, where I wish I could be like Hugh Jackman, but gotta like psych myself up sometimes, get ready for the scene, gotta like prepare myself like in your tent or whatever. Hugh Jackman can be talking to everybody, speaking to whoever. All of a sudden, it'll be like, all right, speed, we're getting the sound ready, we're getting the lights ready. And he'll just be standing there talking to someone, and then his entire face will change. The muscles in his face will change, his body will change, boom, and you're like, oh, holy fuck. Now he's Wolverine. Action. Does the scene, cut, everything relaxes, comes back normal, talking to everybody. He can just turn it on like that. It's so
That's awesome,
sick.
man.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah. Did you see FTM there? I think he was an extra as well, right?
Was he?
I think so. I think he was like a random mutant in a few scenes, like just like a background mutant.
No way. So
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure.
you're so like segregated. You're not even allowed to have your phone, and so it's like certain
Yeah.
days, and most people don't want to do it because once you're an extra, you can't get any other part. But I was like, I'm gonna take this because I know I probably won't get anything else. So I'll take it. I'll be an extra. So you never know who you're gonna get. You're segregated off, and you could be there for like 12 hours and only see like 4 people, and you'll meet a lot of the extras that are like professional extras that are, they're pretty crazy. They're nuts.
Yeah.
Good people.
That's
Love
pretty
to
cool
talk
though,
to them,
man.
but it takes a special kind of person, I think.
That's an awesome gig.
So I guess we got to jump into it a little bit on the wrestling before I let you. I don't want to keep you too long. I know I've already kept you a long time. So let's talk a little bit of wrestling before you go. You've already answered this a bunch of times. Even with me, we said kind of how you got into wrestling as a
Yeah.
fan. How did you get into, transitioning from, watching wrestling and wanting to be a wrestler to actually doing it?
So, around 2008, I actually went to my first indie show. I didn't even know indie was like a thing in Montreal, like at
Yeah,
all.
it took me
I,
years too to figure this out.
like I had heard of like Generico and Steen and stuff, and like that they were like making waves in Ring of Honor and all that, but and like I didn't know what IWS was or anything else, and then like I went to like a random like indie show in like Lachine. That funny enough, Jeremy Prophet was main eventing. This is like 2008, and I think
What?
Alex Silva was on that show too. Like this is like a big throwback. And
Holy.
like while I was there, I met these guys that like they had started filming like backyard wrestling. I think I was like 17 or 18 at the time, so I did some backyard wrestling stuff with them, and then like it got
Your
so
body
many
survived
views.
somehow.
Yeah, we did some crazy shit. Like, man, it got so many views back in the day on YouTube, like millions of views. Some of these things, like CHW.
Holy
Yeah,
shit, dude.
yeah, it's crazy. Like,
That's awesome.
it blew up for all the wrong reasons. People just wanted to see like a bunch of idiots.
You got to bring
Fucking
that back and just like commentate over it. Do like your commentary over the match just to
yeah,
bring
just
it back
laugh at
up, dude.
myself. Yeah, and then like I kind of started to like become disinterested in wrestling a little bit around like 2013.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
I thought like 2013 was on a WWE. 2012, 2013 was like a really low period for WWE. I thought like the whole like Del Rio, like Ziggler, Punk era. But like the summer of Punk was great, but like everything around it,
Yeah, not
not
their
so
fault, not
much.
the performers' faults at all. It was just the direction the company was going and the choices they were
Yeah,
making.
yeah, things just got like that's when they started having like the crazy gimmick pay per views like Fatal 4-Way and like fucking Hell in a Cell like we were talking about earlier, and just like gimmick, and it's just like this isn't like they had a freaking chairs match at TLC. Like what is that?
TLC was so trash. It's been so trash for so many years. Like,
Yeah, so I'd kind of fallen out of it a bit, and then I remember like around 2017, I would still sporadically watch here and there, and they had the UK tournament for the UK championship. I watched that out of curiosity, and I really liked it. Like I thought, like Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, all these guys are having great matches. I'm like,
So
shit, this is
different to
cool.
what we were getting like on the main show.
Yeah, I'm like, this is really cool. And then like I had seen like I was friends with somebody on Facebook that was I guess like following IWS or something. And they had shared a graphic that Pete Dunne was coming to a seminar at the IWS. I'm like, oh shit, that's pretty cool.
Crazy.
I'm like, then I messaged him. I'm like, hey, do I need any like experience at all? He's like, just come to the IWS dojo, do a practice class, see how you like it first, before you do a seminar. I came, I showed up, and like I really liked it right off the bat. I got used to like the movement and the bumping pretty quick, and actually had a match my first day. Like,
what?
yeah, they're like, oh, we think this guy is ready. Throw him in there. I had like a match day one. I'm like, shit,
fuck.
I like this. I did the Pete Dunne seminar. Really enjoyed it. Learned a bunch of stuff. Got some advice I still use to this day. And then I just started training at the IWS 2, sometimes 3 times a week until I got the green light. Started getting my indie bookings.
Was Shane Hawk your first trainer then?
Yeah, Shane Hawk was my first trainer.
Whatever.
And then just a few months later, Daddy Magic, Matt Menard started teaching like the advanced classes and stuff like that. And
Is that how you ended up as security for him?
exactly, one of his security went down with an injury on a Battle War show, and
No
he's like,
way.
"Hey, Matty, you think you can do it? You think you can replace him? You guys are about the same size, both Italian. I just give you a T-shirt." And
That's fucking perfect.
and I started doing that. That's how I got to meet a bunch of people, a bunch of promoters. It was actually great. Like
Crazy.
that's how I networked a little bit doing that and got my face out there. And then once I started doing that Fernando gimmick, started getting out there, getting bookings. And
I was about to say, was that Fernando de la Cruz at that moment? Like, who is this guy?
yeah, Fernando de la Cruz in my Careless Whisper theme, and
So good.
just a character I based off of Fernando Martinez off the radio in Vice City.
Crazy. No
Yeah,
way.
it was it was something I did in a promo class with Daddy Magic, and he's like, I think that's it. He's like, just make your character. It's something,
So-
and then it became a thing, and then COVID hit, and that's around the time where I was like, you know what, man, I got to come back different. This Fernando guy is like, it was fun. I was kind of like stuck. Like I was just like, Speedball said it best once, because he was actually like kind of trapped here during COVID, so he was teaching a lot of classes at the IWS dojo, and he's like, I believe you have a lot of talent, but with this character, you're kind of stuck. He's like, I want you to go from being a good hand to being somebody that can be in the main event, and then. And then I'm like, okay. So he really like brought out this like side of me. Like he's like, I believe you can do like all this cool stuff. And then like I changed around like some stuff I did in the ring. He's like, just use your real name. He's like, just use your real name. So at first he wanted me to be like Matthew Busato, but I'm like, it just doesn't fucking like come off the tongue well. It didn't pass the name test for me. And then I'm like, Matt Viviani. That's my other last name. Like. I'm like, that sounds better, it has like that like Ted DiBiase, like
It
I'm like,
flows.
yeah,
The flow is
I'm
there.
like,
It's perfect.
I like it. So I went with that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back with a whole new like look and gimmick. Did the whole synthwave thing, and it picked up steam right away. Like then JT started kind of like doing the same aesthetic. Castone Productions got going, and sure enough, like when Matt and Jeff came back to town, we were lucky enough to get that match with them, and we just kind of like started rocking and rolling from there.
That's fucking sick. Did you have like you've won a lot of titles now at this point. Do you have a favorite title run?
Definitely the Canadian title run, the
Yeah,
whole
that's so
Prime
fucking
Minister
good.
thing. Like that was so much
good.
fun. Like all the vignettes and stuff, and the ideas that would pop into my head. Like just watching the news and seeing things that would go on, and like how can I play off this and like involve myself like in a way, Like remember like when I first won the title. Not like literally, like I think the week or two after winning the title is when Trudeau separated from his wife.
Oh my
And I'm like,
god!
oh, like his wife saw the like, there's a new man in town and she wants to be with a real man, Matt Viviani. I did a whole thing on that. Like just,
I think
it
that's
was
what,
so
like,
much fun.
for me as an IWS fan, that's kind of what changed. I think all the promos in IWS. Not a lot of people were doing promos with a lot of story in them, right? It was mostly just like, I'm going to beat you, I'm better than you, da 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 da, which is fine. We love that, but adding something different to it, adding something more, and I think that's inspired a lot of other people in the IWS to do the same. Try to do different, record in different places, say something different, do something different, walk around, add some movement, and I think that was a big part of that.
Yeah, like I tried to do as many like new things as I can. Like I'd got that wireless microphone, so I was kind of like an on what do you call them, like on the go reporting kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'd be walking around with the microphone. Hey, this is Matt Viviani, IWS Canadian champion, your prime minister. I'm here in fucking Ottawa, and I'd be like in front of the Parliament, or I'd be in the mall at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Telling Canadians they need to make their kids read, and
So good.
yeah, like, it was fun, man.
Insane,
When
but great.
man, the one that I was like shitting bricks though was my first match with Dante. I cut a promo on the res, in I was because I just so happened that ISW Interspecies Wrestling had a show in Ganawage, and funny enough, I wrestled Dante on that show.
Oh,
And so I got Dante and Dad Bod Squad's Kyle Zachary, who's also indigenous. I got both of their blessing. I'm like, can I do this promo here?
Okay.
I'm like, I want to make sure I'm not offending
You did ask.
anybody.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'm like, I want your guys is like okay for this, because I wasn't gonna like cross the line of like like any kind of racist thing, but like I just felt uncomfortable a bit being like all decked out in Canada shit like on the res, like I'm like, man, am I gonna get like sniped? Yeah, and like Kyle's actually like, yeah, you might not want to like do it near the road. He's like, I'm like, sure, okay. So like I kind of like went to the side just so I can see a sign that said Ganawage. And yeah, I cut a promo on him there saying like I'm taking back my land and all this stuff, and like yeah. So which
That's
is
cool.
why in my opinion like he was the perfect choice to beat me for the title. Like to have an indigenous guy beat the tyrannical Canadian like the son of a bitch, like in the way that we did it, and the fact that he was like an up and coming star with a lot of momentum. It was just like the perfect storm, and like I don't think there was any other way to do it.
No, and it just seems like we've added so much story to IWS. These are the types of things that weren't necessarily going on for lots of years, whereas banger matches and like there's fun feuds, but this is adding like layers of story into it, and that's what something that I've talked to Andrew about is like this is what's made it so much better and bring it to another level is having storylines like that where it's got depth to it. It's not just surface level.
It's something that's very important to me. Like I'm not like I've been noticing it more and more as my career goes along. Like I'm not the biggest fan of cold matches. Or like, I understand like it's good to get as many bookings as you can and just do as many shows as you can, but I've reached this point where like I want something I could sink my teeth into that I can make a fun promo about, and not just go out there just to have a banger to have a banger. Like I want to like really have like a match with story, and like like at the end of the day, our goal is to all get on TV in these big companies, and like you're gonna need those tools. You're gonna need to cut a promo, tell those stories, and work off the crowd, feed off the crowd, play with their emotions. Like these are all important things, and as important as it is to wrestle good, it's also important to have the psychology and all that stuff. Which is why, like, I for me, it's the most important thing. I'm always a big proponent of less is more, which is also being a student of Daddy Magic. Like he's a big character guy, like he'll just throw his hands up and go bah, and like it'll get more of a reaction than like somebody doing a reverse Rana. Like it's right place,
9
right
false
time,
finishes and whatever else. Like it's deeper than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolute legend. And I guess that's how Casanova Productions got started. I guess was you guys just had similar gimmicks? Did you guys talk? Like how did it kick off?
So funny enough, I did a booking in Tedford Mines for Victory Ring. And they teamed me up with this guy, Carlos Gonzalez. I was replacing Mark Mercer, and we both had a similar gimmick. Carlos had like this Spanish gimmick with like a rose on his tights. I carried the rose at the time, and the promoter's just like, "Oh, we'll put you together. We'll call you Los Casanovas." So we teamed there a few times. We had a few tag title matches and stuff. And then in IWS, they needed a team basically one night to face, I think, TDT on. It was like a spot show somewhere. and they're like, oh, we should just put like Fernando and Giordano together. They're both Italian. They kind of have like they both wear the suit jackets and stuff, and come up with a name. And then Giordano used to be in a team with two other guys called the Production, and I was literally just doing the Los Casanovas thing. I'm like, Casanova Production. And like we're just like, oh, let's just put it together, Casanova Productions. Fuck it, thinking nothing of it. It was gonna be like a one-time thing.
No way.
Yeah, and then it just snowballed from there.
That's crazy. That's so sick.
Yeah, it started off as literally just like a fuck it, like.
And the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, as you can see here, it just became a brand.
After a show, when someone comes up to you, because this is different, like, doing a play, when I'm done and I come and, meet people after the show, they're not expecting me to be in character. When you're at the merch booth or when you're meeting people after the show, what's your opinion? Are people supposed to approach you in character, or are you back to being yourself? Like, how does that work for you, or does it depend?
For me personally, especially being a heel, I try to stay in character as much as I can, as often as I can. Like, I won't even go near my opponent, or like, and like, even like other baby faces, like, I don't like to be too close to them at merch, to be too buddy with them. I see some, I'm not going to name names, but I've seen people where like they just had a crazy fucking blood feud with somebody, and they're literally standing next to each other at merch taking pictures with kids. I'm like, I kind of just like, it peels the curtain back a bit too far. And I know we're in a day and age where like everybody knows what wrestling is and stuff, but to me, I don't know, it still kind of like kills the magic. It's like if you're at Disney World and like Mickey Mouse takes his mask off and it's just some like Mexican guy, it's like, what the
Smoking,
fuck?
you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. It just kills the magic. And like, yeah, at the merch table, and as a heel, it even helps me sell merch sometimes. You've probably seen me do it. I'm like screaming at people, like, buy my stuff, blah, blah, blah. I need to pay for gas. They don't pay my trans here. Like, I go nuts. And like, yeah, I like being in character as much as I can in merch. Like I said, just not to kill the magic.
No, I like that. I like that. And a big thing that's sort of come up lately that we've been doing, or you guys have been doing on the indies forever, is intergender matches. How do you feel about those? Do you ever want to see them in the main shows? Do you think there's anyone that could do that crossover? Or is it something that belongs more on the indies?
On mainstream television, it'll be hard.
That's for sure.
Like an average person turns on the TV, doesn't know what they're watching, and they see like, 120 pound woman beating a 280 pound man. It's like, what the fuck?
Or
like
vice versa looks bad too, right? Like,
yeah, like a man like putting a fucking like Boston Crab on a woman, like bending her in half on TV. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
or like
exactly.
on an indie show where people understand, like indie fans and like the mainstream fans, the big difference. Like indie fans, just they know they're wrestling, they know what they're watching, they know like it's performance art basically, and like we got people like Chris Dara who like can put on an amazing match with anybody, and like of course like to watch her go in there with any like male wrestler, like it's gonna be an entertaining match. It'll be one of the best matches on any indie card, but like when it gets to mainstream television, it's uncharted waters, and I'm just not sure we're ready to go there yet.
Yeah,
and it has nothing to do. It's not like a shot against like female talent or anything like that. It's more just like, is the casual viewer ready for this? And like, will it affect ratings? So on.
Sponsors.
So forth.
How are they going to feel about that? One
Exactly.
wrong clip, one wrong move, and it hits the sponsors.
I don't think we're there yet, and I don't know. I don't think the WWE will ever get there. I could see AEW potentially.
Yeah,
they might have already done it. I haven't really been paying too much attention, but I'm not sure. I think TNA, didn't they have Tessa Blanchard as the World Heavyweight Champion during COVID?
Very possible. I don't remember.
She had beaten Sami Callihan or something along those lines.
Yeah, like special moments, special spots, special particular things, perhaps. But yeah, having like an intergender division that people are asking for and stuff. I agree. It's a little early for something like that.
Like when you have those like I could see like look at like the WWF, like when China, but like China was China, right?
Yeah.
Like you turn on your TV and you see this Amazonian like death by snoo woman like beat the shit. That's like, it's believable. Like I could see like if they really want to go that route with maybe like a Jade Cargill down the line.
Rhea and Jade are the two that get thrown around every here and there.
Yeah, exactly. I could see that. But like in special scenarios, like like seeing, like I wouldn't put Rhea in the ring with like like a Cena or like a Cody, you know. But like Rhea beating Dom Mysterio, like that's
That's
believable. You know
gold,
what I
right?
mean? Like even like I think like Jacqueline back in the day beat Chavo Senior for the cruiserweight title, like on
right.
SmackDown, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. You know, like where a casual viewer can see it and be like, okay, yeah, I can see it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Tozawa or El Grande Americano losing to someone like that. Yeah, we could make it work.
exactly.
Who do you think is the next person to come out of Montreal? Because, I mean, a few months ago, I would have asked you this. It would have been Speedball, right? Speedball. And look
Yeah.
where he's going. He's fucking doing it, which is sick. Are there any other names that are, like, sort of on the radar besides yourself that you think, like, maybe they're
On the
close?
female side, I would say definitely Kristara and Drea Mitchell.
Yeah, so
Uh,
good.
Drea Mitchell's come out of nowhere and is just like tearing up the scene and is like everywhere now. And I saw a clip
Talk
of
and
her from I
wrestle.
think C4 Wrestling. She had picked up two male superstars and like a fucking like John Cena in the Fireman's Carry. Like it looked like the WrestleMania
What
with
the?
Big Show and Edge, and she's walking around the ring with them like holy fuck.
Holy
Like
shit.
yeah, definitely Drea Mitchell and Kristara. Kristara having bangers everywhere. On the male side, I'd have to really think about it. Because I find a lot of the better male wrestlers in Quebec are up there in age, and I know like companies like WWE are not really gonna go for that. Like somebody who's just in early 40s, late 30s, they kind of want to like go young now. Even me at 33, I'm like WWE. I think the ship has sailed.
Yeah, still got some time, but you're right. They seem to be making these moves that they're, like, trying to get younger people in and maybe lower contracts and stuff. I don't know what TKO is doing
Yeah,
with
and
the stuff.
especially now with the TKO stuff, I've been seeing all this contract stuff. Like apparently, I don't think the Miz is getting renewed, and they kind of just like cleaning. Yeah, like I thought Miz would be there forever.
So weird.
Miz is somebody who like I compare myself to a lot, and like
Yeah.
that one kind of like hit home. I was like, I always saw myself as like I don't really have an ego. I kind of know what I bring to the table, and I know like what I do best. And I always saw myself as like that Miz utility player on a show. Like I'm the type of guy that I'll come in and I'll have like 7 or 8 like intercontinental title runs, and like and just make them fun, and like like be there to put over the right people at the right time, and maybe dip my toes in the world title, but like like I know my role, like I know my limitations. I know there's people that are better than me, and yeah, like and to circle back to your question, I can maybe see down the line a guy like Zach Patterson.
Yeah, for sure.
I,
Hold
I
on,
mean,
my door just rang. Hold on, give me one sec. So sorry, man. My neighbor just knocked on my door, and I'm on the 10th floor, so I'm like, someone's knocking on my door. What the heck's going on? Her cat. She couldn't find him, so I just ran over to her place. He was in the corner of the couch, like in the little corner. He's a tiny little new thing. Anyway, random.
wow,
I
that all
was like,
happened just
hey, I
now.
found him. Yeah. Just ran
That's
over there.
crazy.
Sweet lady.
Wow.
But yeah, cat's fine. So sorry, Zach Patterson. Sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. But yeah, he's still really young. Been making waves in the States recently. He's in great shape. Can go. I can definitely see a guy like him potentially breaking through, and potentially Dante Dubois down the line. Man,
That would
he's
be
got
sick.
size. Like when's the last time you seen like an indigenous guy? Like I can't even think. Like what Tatanka was like the last time.
The last, like, what's going on? How is it taking this long?
Yeah, like I could definitely see him making a big plunge down the line. For sure, for sure.
I mean, you have a big match coming up soon. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Casanova Productions versus Tabernacle Team and Moredes. That's going to be a
Yeah,
banger for sure, but it's going to be violent. It's going to be
there's
vicious.
gonna be definitely some broken doors and tables and spilled beer, potential guardrails knocked over. Like it's gonna be wild. It's
No
always
bucks, so
crazy with
you don't have to
TDT.
eat any cigarettes, which is good.
Thank God. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Never.
speaking of the cat that I just went to dig out of the couch, are you more of a cat guy or a dog guy? I know that you've had
So
dogs,
I've
you've had
always been a
cats.
dog guy, but
Yeah,
now I have 3 cats and like
you have
I'm a
3.
cat
No
dad.
way.
Yeah, I had 2 that were mine, and my fiance when she moved in brought hers, a female cat, Duchess. Mine are Bruce and Alfred. I have a tuxedo cat called Alfred and a black cat
Oh,
called Bruce.
that's so
Yeah,
good. That's incredible. Same. I was a dog guy for the longest time. Growing up, I was a dog guy. I worked at a doggy daycare after school, would take care of
Okay.
dogs and yada yada. But then got introduced to cats, and now I fucking love cats. Had to learn a lot about the psychology. They're not dogs. They work different. It's a different
Yeah.
species.
Yeah, they're like, yo, I don't really want pets right now. Fuck off. You know, like
5 seconds at a time, and then you're done.
yeah, yeah. Like what I like is that like they just chill and they take care of themselves. You know,
The
they
best.
they piss and shit in a box. I don't gotta like take them outside.
That's so good.
You know, like they chill on like the couch or their cat tree. They get up, they eat, and they go back to sleep.
The best.
It's like the perfect roommate.
It's so much better when you go away and you're looking for someone to look after them. They can come over and just check on the cat once a day, type of thing. You don't
Yeah,
have to have someone who's over multiple times, walking the dog, feeding the dog, letting
yeah.
the dog out. Like
Like last summer, I went to wrestle in Toronto for a whole week at the CNE, and
crazy.
we literally I'm doing it again this year actually in August for CCW. And there's gonna be a bunch of legends there. It's always a good time. I think Joey Janela is gonna be there too.
Sick.
But yeah, we set up like automatic feeders and like the water fountain thing, and we got an extra litter box so they can shit in different places. And like we came back after a week, and it was like totally fine.
That's the best. Like you cannot do that with a dog. It's an incredible
No,
thing. And
no.
speaking of Joey Janela and the others, are there any legends that you've liked working with? I know you've met like Ziggler and you've been on shows with like even Earl Hebner and stuff like that. Are there any goats that
Yeah, that was
stand
all
out
with
in your mind?
TNA.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was all TNA. Yeah, because you were on the show for a bit. At least you had, like,
Yeah.
a little
Did
piece
the
of it. That's
the
crazy,
Secret
dude.
Service thing with Mustafa Ali and stuff. That was fun.
Insane.
Got super kicked by Speedball on Slammiversary, and then got into it with Ziggler on Impact.
That's so you're on Impact, man. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was fun, man. I've actually done extra work for the WWE too a few times. Just never was used on TV. But like I gotta
But you were
say,
in the back and everything? Holy shit.
yeah, multiple times. Tommaso Ciampa is like the coolest dude ever.
No way.
I have to say, man, he would like come by the extras, be like, "Hey, you guys need anything? You guys want like a bottle of water?" I'm like, wow. In my head, I'm like, you don't have to do this, you know.
No, he doesn't
Nikki
at all.
Cross too. Nikki Cross too was like that, really chill. The Hurricane made me laugh in catering one time because like I think it was like around 5 p.m. I think they had like the agents had all finalized that they're not going to need any extras. So Hurricane's like, oh, it's going to be a long night for you guys. He's like, listen, boys. He's like, they close catering at around 7:30. He's like, load up as many to-go trays as you can and like take advantage. He's like, because it's going to be a long night.
Legend. That's so good.
Yeah.
And what was that like? Did they contact you? They reach out, and then like, how do you show up? Was that at the Bell Center?
I did it at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, the Videotron Center in Quebec. Yeah, a few spots. Giordano's flown himself to like Calgary and Vancouver to do stuff. Like,
Yeah, we've seen him on TV a few times for sure.
yeah,
He's got that
I
look,
just-
He's got that, you look too good. He's got that something about him that he just fits the extra role. I don't know.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding, obviously.
And yeah, it's good times.
Fucking sick, dude. Yeah, I don't know if there was too much else I wanted to say. We talked about that. Yeah, no, I guess that's it. One thing that we did on the pod, maybe you can give us. Did you have Netflix?
I do have Netflix, yeah.
Can you give me your best impression of the sound at the start of Netflix?
Da-dum.
Yeah. Perfect. So where can everybody follow you for all the millions of listeners in the Jobberverse?
I am at Matt Viviani 91 on everything, on Instagram, Twitter, whatever they call it these days. Yeah, on everything, on Twitch, which I'm trying to get back into streaming as much as I can. It's just I'm not very tech savvy with all these cables and things. I got to figure things out, and after the move, I got to rebuild my little streaming arcade room thing.
Do it, man, and keep a schedule. Stick to that schedule. Keep it, because jobbers like me, we got blocked by Gold Dust because our name is the Four Jobbers, but we don't call wrestlers jobbers. We're jobbers because we work a 9 to 5 and we just watch wrestling, and we're, there's no such thing as a jobber for the real guys like you, but for us, that's what we do. Yeah, so make sure you stick to a schedule, because that's what we look forward to when we're doing our 9 to 5 and we got nothing else to look forward to. We don't have wrestling on the weekends, we want to be able to look forward to those things and watch you. And so even if it's the VOD the next day, at least there's something for us to consume when I'm walking uphill in that treadmill. You know what I mean? So if you stick to a schedule,
Yeah.
I know you're gonna fucking crush it, dude.
Yeah, I definitely want to get back into that a little bit more. Definitely some fun to be had there. Did a few streams like a couple years ago where I was playing like Cuphead on the hardest difficulty, and I was losing my shit. And like those ones got the most views because I'm just there raging.
Yeah.
But, yeah, stuff
See,
like that.
if you're doing
stuff
it
like that,
consistently, and those little things are gonna happen, those pops are gonna happen, but at least you're consistently going. So you know, those of us that just want to hang out, we'll watch the regular content, and when the great stuff comes along, more people will show up, and who knows, maybe we'll get a raid from Speedball and stuff like that, and that's how we keep it going.
yeah, he's done that before. Actually, he just comes in and it's
sick.
like, all of a sudden there's like 80 people in there. It's like, oh fuck, yeah,
Yeah, I gotta fucking lock in now.
yeah. And then like after 5 minutes, it's just like, toot, 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 toot. It's like, who the fuck is this jobber?
Hey, as long as they discovered you, as long as they know you exist, you get a couple from it. That's all that matters, man.
Sure.
Yo, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it, dude. And
Dude, it was a good time, man, for sure.
enjoy the show tonight.
Yeah, 100%, man.
All right,
All right,
thanks
buddy.
so much, man.
Take care, bud.